Okay, so maybe I give an overview of the ES Proline. Proline is the operator that we were proposing for the airport. Okay, yes. So I roughly, yeah. How do I share? Sorry.
And from computation, yeah. From design, right. Link, yeah, it's just link.
Okay, so you should be able to see my screen. How do I do that? I have to minimize this one. Okay. Okay, so basically there will be two models. So this one, what I'll do now is I give you a very quick overview because we have actually different, although it's under ES Proline, but we have different models. But some things are using the same. So the controller is different, but the profile, the shape, everything's the same. So I'll just give you a rough overview.
Yes.
Then we go straight into the manuals, what you will see for the ES 250 Pro Easy. Okay.
Yes.
So first, this is just a video that you can see. Just a quick introduction. So this is basically the new Pro line. This is the new product that we have. This is latest, and this actually replaces the ES200. So we have ES200 Easy and ES200, and this is a product that replaces it. So what you see when you get the operator, right, is this profile over here. These door frames will be most probably provided by, my understanding is provided by you guys.
Mm-hmm.
So what you see is only this top operator, and this is, provided by us. Yeah. This operator, what's new about this is gone to 1.5 million cyclic tests. So we are looking at expanded life compared to ES200, right? So we are looking at, and how we achieve this is basically we have a new controller, a new drive unit. So this new drive unit and has no gear. So there's no gearbox, right? Which means that it is quieter, it is better response, and at the same time gives it a longer lifespan. So this, okay, let me finish up this video. All right. So you can see basically what is new about this is, of course, this model here, 2 times 200 kg. This is the 400. So if you need a more powerful, we do have a more powerful motor drive as well. Okay. But I think the ones that we are looking at, because the door size is a little bit smaller, we look at a 2 times 125 kg. Right? Again, it is also an improvement from our previous product. So if you look at the ES200 Easy, we are looking at 120. Now we are looking at 125 times 2. Okay. We are tested up to 1.5 million cycles. Oh, okay. We are tested up to 1.5 million cycles. We have a very fast opening and closing speed as well. All right. Because, like I mentioned, so again, the drive unit is much quieter than what you have in the market. The product, everything is modular, meaning if you need to expand, you need to add additional features, you can, right? We just add on different modules. Okay, so if there is a need to have more interfacing in future, then we just add on accordingly. All right, but the profiles, the main profiles, the aluminum profiles and all that will be the same. So you have one package, but then you can customize the internal contents. Okay, for future, if there is a need for connectivity to building management systems, so if you're talking about airport infrastructure, moving forward, you can have this option as well. Okay, and right, like I said, so with this new drive unit, it consumes a lot less power, so it's energy savings. Then that covers the sustainability aspect of it. Okay, I will cover all these technical brochures later. I'll just flash through to show you all what is available. I'll give you a copy as well. But most importantly is where to find the information. So that's most important, right? I won't be able to run through everything, but more important is what you can find from the brochures and the videos as well. So I do have videos to teach you how to assemble the operator. So from the profile, where you need to put in these different components, how you get the belt length, we have videos to show you. Okay, I can run through with you later. So we have videos, we have installation manuals as well. All right, and so these are just some of the main benefits compared, in a summary. So we are looking at now, if compared to the ES200 system, we are looking at much higher improved door weight, 50% more carrying capacity, 50% more service life. So typically in the market, if you look at EN standards, EN and German standards, you're looking at 1 million cycles, usually tested. Now we do 1.5 million. So we are looking at 50% more service life. So this again is a sales pitch or a point that you want to bring across, right? Improvement from our operator. Like I said, there is a reduced noise. Okay, so significantly reduced noise, simpler wiring and easier installation. Okay. I will basically skip all this now. But what you can see now is this is the new motto that we have, right? If you were to look at all other brands, you will see the motto is usually this round one with the gear over there. So what we have is our gear unit. There's no gearbox. So this is the motto. This square thing is our motto. It's a direct drive, similar to like washing machines and all that. So one of the main features is benefits is high torque. So it's very powerful. There's a high starting torque. On top of that is high sensitivity. So higher safety, although it moves fast, but because there is no gear ratio. So the slightest bang, you can program for it to detect. So it will reopen. Basically, the knocking, the obstruction is much less. Okay. So you can see, traditionally, this is what your motor looks like. Over here, this is a much smaller package now. Okay. And this is the locking mechanism. You will see a locking mechanism like this. One key feature is that it is self-aligning. So some other systems, the lock needs to align into either the pulley or the, some pulley, some locking mechanism where the plunger will go in and lock. You have to align it carefully. But over here, the lock locks onto the belt, and this is self-aligning. So even if you install a bit off, it will still lock. So it's a higher security feature as well. All right. Display over here. So you'll see two display units here that will have numbers or alphabets, 7-segment display, and a button left, right, up, down. Okay, so all your programming parameters are all set in here. If there is any error, if there is any error or fault, it will also be reported through this over here. Okay. a programmer, but of course, this is not needed for your basic commissioning. Okay, but if you need to upgrade the software, if you need to upgrade to a new version, for example, a new firmware, you can use either a laptop that go through this device and plug it into the operator. Okay, and if you don't have a laptop with you, you can also use your handphone, right? So this, for example, if it's an iPhone, then you have Lightning to your LAN cable, which then your LAN cable can go into this module here. This is called an operator service interface. Okay, so this is also available for you to do commissioning. All right, so the major improvements, the key unique selling points for the Pro line will be, firstly, I keep highlighting our motor drive is different from the rest of the competition. It is a direct drive. There is no gearbox, right? So less wear and tear will lead to longer lifespan. Okay. The new controller and motor has a low power standby power as well, only 8.8 watts. And this is backed up by our certificate called EPD, Product Declaration, Environmental Product Declaration, which I'm sure you used to substantiate your submission to the airport as well, right?
Yes.
Yes. So all these are the big improvements. We have a very fast opening closing speed, but higher safety as well because of the drive unit. Okay, it's a much quieter operator, and of course, it is also future ready. Like I said, you can connect to building management systems, and like I mentioned also earlier, that higher safety because of the new motor drive. Okay, I will stop here, and I will now show you the manual. So this is okay. So this is your manual. You will be receiving together with the operator drive. All right. In this manual, it will tell you how to assemble the operator. So you can see these are the different parts of the operator. The main thing is this aluminum profile over here. This is your main profile. Then there will be these rollers that you will use to hang your door, right? There's also a belt drive that connects the drive unit over here. This is your motor, and this is your main controller. Okay.
Sure. For standard operator, we don't have number 7.
You don't have number 7, no. These are options. So depending on your requirement, normally it's only supplied with this. Don't have this, don't have this.
Don't have.
Don't have. It's
Yes.
optional.
Okay. Yeah, optional.
It's optional, yes. So we will omit this.
Không có hai cái giá, mình chỉ có cái dây không.
So this is what I noticed in your drawing as well. Currently you are drawing with this profile.
Yes.
Right? Number 6.
Yes.
So you have to take away number 6 also.
Okay.
So only number 20 and 19, yes. But 20 direct into your support structure. Okay. What is the HS? What is the supply state?
What do you mean?
How we supply this to them?
Based on whatever accessories is stated there. It's not discussed whether how we want to supply, because we also don't know who is going to do it.
So that's why it's critical. So another question would be, your doors are all in standard size or different sizes as well, right?
Yeah.
The idea is for you to cut on site and fit, or is there a fabrication that how would you all want to?
Or you want every set we assemble.
You
then
can cut at factory.
Again,
Can
sorry,
you cut at factory?
our factory.
cut.
That, but then you have to be firm on the opening size.
Then you don't change.
Then you
we
don't
can
change.
fabricate in the office. Then
Yeah.
if I fabricate in the factory, then
Cắt cái
we
gì thay đổi được khó theo.
cut ready,
Đúng rồi,
fabricate, assemble, then we send.
Các nhà máy đi chuẩn hơn nhưng mà nguyên nhân không trường.
I think cut a size is better.
Cut at size.
Because in case there could be some amendment, some change,
Yeah.
then at least, yeah. So you will most probably take as standard length.
Yeah, I think so.
Standard length.
So-
Okay, so this one we can discuss further, but at least I want to understand, what is your preference?
You need to have to assemble all these components separately, piece by piece on site.
I would say no lah.
I don't think so. I think we have to do it for them.
Mm.
But
The other thing to consider is also how comfortable is the installation schedule. Because I have encountered people who install, but they don't want to install with the motor and the belt and everything first. Because depending on the project phase, some they only install the profile up and just the carrier. Then at the later stage, they go in and install the controllers because say maybe due to security reasons, they don't want to have the whole operator installed there where later people can take it down or can do something to it. So
Đó là cái
that
14.
will also be very important.
14.
How we supply or how you want your product to be supplied to you.
Còn cắt trước thì có thể bị thiếu hoặc là
thì nếu cắt ở nhà máy thì nó sẽ ví dụ là đỡ tốn môi trường, nó sẽ đỡ đẹp hơn, nhưng mà vấn đề là sợ là cái kích thước lỗ mở nhiều
tại
khi
vì
nó
chưa lắp bao giờ, thành ra là
nó
Không
sợ.
cần đâu mà để cho họ tự
Thường
xây
lắm.
được
Thì
thôi.
cắt
Nó không bị dài là được. Bình thường mình nhập từ xây dài thì mình có thể là mình dài quá thì mình cắt ra để cho nó dễ vận chuyển.
Còn thường mấy phân thì tùy
thì mình sẽ cắt theo từ công trường cắt ra thường 15 phân rồi.
I think we will adjust in the job site.
Yes. Okay. So as complete operator standard length lah. All right, can understand. So anyway, so then that at least just know that all the different parts of this operator lah in here. Okay. So I think you already run through previously. I think you've seen this. Like I said, this is the commissioning panel, right? The interface panel. So there will be two displays over there, up, down, left, right buttons. Okay. Later I'll show you a video. Maybe it'll be easier for you to understand how to do the commissioning. All right. Then all this is more in case you need to calculate if you're doing the assembly yourself. But if it's going to be pre-assembled, then you don't need to worry about that. Okay, so everything is already pre-assembled for you. Where to put the motor, where to put the pulley. All right. So all this will be pre-installed for you then. You don't have to worry about this. What is key now would be this you have to do yourself, right? So these are the rollers that you have to prefabricate. If you're using a frame door, then you have to prefabricate the mounting details for your frame so that you can mount it later onto the carrier group, right? If this is your frame profile, then you need to do a reinforcement inside. Then maybe you need to tap the hole so that you can do the connection. Okay. All right. Then so the carrier basically consists of 3 different rollers, 2 main support roller to take the loading, and 1 roller on the top to prevent the roller from coming off the track. Okay, so just note that there is a roller over here, and then you try not to touch the top, so you have a gap of about 0.5 millimeter, just a very small gap so that the roller doesn't fall out. Okay. So this is something to note. And finally, okay, this is all, you can just read this, later on we can, once you have your sample operator, then you can play around with it and you can understand this a little bit better, but at least know where you can find all this important critical information. So then there's another thing, which is the cover profile. Okay, so the cover profile, again, because you will be assembling on site, so you have to cut it to the right length. When you cut it to the right length, do note that this is the hinge profile over here. So we have this plastic hinge profile that once you cut to the right length, then you snap it in. So it's a clip on. And normally after you clip on, it's very difficult for you to pull out. So you have to cut to the right length first. So that's why this is usually the last step. Once you confirm the length, everything, then you cut your cover to the right length and you cut your end cap to, right?
So
join.
how to open the cover? Swing or
Swing.
swing?
Swing.
So how about that?
This is a hinge. This is a hinge profile that you can swing up and down. And note that there is this end cap. This end cap could be quite long because we do not know what's the mounting structure. So you might have to cut that end cap down here as well to cover to your wall finish, right? So this will be supplied separately. You cut it to your right size before you install it in as well. Okay. So this is a hinge mechanism, right? You can see it flips up. Okay. Then at the end there is also a stand to hold it there. Yeah.
Okay. So the hinge it keeps the cover open when
yes you do maintenance. Yes.
Fix the cover open.
Yes. So you can adjust using this at the two ends.
I see.
Okay. And of course, this is not just for the safety sensors. So this is your main control panel, right? Like I said, this is your programming. This is all your wiring in here. Okay. There will be a LAN communication port over here. This is where, like say, you can connect either your phone or a laptop. And this is where you can do programming or you want to update the software, right? If we have new software, you can update it as well. Okay.
We must use the app by Dormakaba. Correct?
Is not an app, but you need that box. Okay. If you need, you have to get a box. That box has a IP address. So you just use any web browser, you key in the IP address, and you can go into the programming page already. It's like a server, is it, or something like that, like a modem lah. How you configure a modem lah.
You must buy this box.
Yes. Yes. You don't need to buy it. It's optional. You can do commissioning just by this. Good enough. But if you need to do like software upgrades, if you want to in future, you can. So it's optional. It's optional. So like before we send it out, we will already make sure that you have the latest software.
For setup speed,
you don't need. You can key in using this. Good enough. So commissioning, self-learning, speed, hold open time, how long the door stay open before closing, all you can just program using this.
But we have some many door. So we want set up one time. We get.
You still have to key in door by door. Set the parameter.
Door by door.
Yeah, door by door. Yes. So okay, this is the connection terminal over here. right? You can see at the side of the operator over here is 2 rows of connectors, and this is what the 2 rows will look like. So all your sensors and all that will be connected to this over here. My suggestion is, because your door setup will be similar, you only have a few, maybe toilet one, main door another type, so different accessories. What I can do is I can give you the wiring diagram for this sensor, for this application, then you don't have to worry about so many different wirings. So I give you one set of cable for this application, another set of cable, say, for handicap toilet. So it's fixed. All right. Okay. Then of course, these are just some example wirings. Like I said, I will give you based on your project requirement, so you don't have to worry so much about this. Okay. But out of curiosity, you all have experience installing automatic doors before, right? I guess.
Yes.
No issues with that, right? So the concept of motion detection, safety, no problem, right?
Yes. Usually.
Okay. Good. Yeah. So it's the same idea as well, lah. So we have inputs for motion detection, and you can connect either your wave sensor there, your push button there. Then you have your safety curtains, right? Either safety sensor or microcell or whatever. A beam,
Yes.
right? And then you can connect.
So that over there, it will communicate to all the devices.
Yes. So try context as well. So if you have additional inputs like, say, for example, cut access control and all that, I can advise you where to just terminate it. But it just has to be a dry contact. Okay. Then when you commission the door, okay, I think I will show you a video, but once you have your sample set, you can play around with all this error. You can see, then you can experience it. Yeah. Okay. And also, not just programming, those display there can also tell you error codes. So for example, if there is an obstruction, using that IN02. Okay, there are also error codes. Say for example, the door totally cannot move, right? So then you see E01. Okay, if for example you see things like there's a battery, but the battery is missing. Somebody took away the battery and is trying to do a test. It can also tell you error 85, E85. Your battery is missing. So once you see an E and you see the E flashing, you press the button, it will tell you a number. Go to the manual and match according to your error code to see what is the error. And it will tell you what to do also. All right. Okay. So with that, I move to the next section, which I can share with you also, how you can commission the door. So this video should be much clearer. That means my laptop is running out of them. Oh, yeah.
We stop sharing it.
Okay, I try and stop share again. Let me this.
Yeah. We return.
Yeah. This one. Yeah, this one. Yep.
So,
In the first step, the attachment strip for the drive unit is positioned on the right-hand side of the operator profile.
stop share.
Millimeters.
Actually, the other way is, do you have a thumb drive? I can transfer the videos to you and then you can use your computer.
Do you have WhatsApp there?
This one?
Yeah.
I don't know whether I can send on the, but it's quite big.
Ừ.
Cái này là gửi lên cái Zoom được đấy, gửi file lên cái chat của Zoom được đấy.
700 mega.
Do that? I don't have.
I think you close and open again.
Okay.
Biết là quá.
You have a? You have a?
I brought for them the thumb drive inside the
You open again.
Yeah. And maybe you take one, then I download. Then you can keep a copy of it also. Yeah, you can save it straight away.
You want to show?
Yeah. Then I can explain also. Yeah, if you can, that would be good. I can't open on my. It's on holiday. Yeah. I think it's my player.
Me?
You can't go into full screen. You can't open up.
Maybe. Let me check.
Bây giờ có nhiều là khác thì sao nhỉ? Ví dụ cứ có lập thì chúng ta không qua được, còn là không được.
Maybe you using another software to open the video. Do you have another? You.
Yeah. Okay. Sorry. Yes. Teamwork.
Cái cờ tự động này thì anh Hòa nắp mãi cái nắp cô ấy cũng không có xa lạ gì rồi.
Cô với kèm qua.
Thực ra thì cái này nó chỉ có khác một chút về cái phần cấu tạo cái dây. Thì cái dây này với dây thì cái nguyên lý nó cái chỗ nó sẽ nó khác một tí và nó có thêm vài tính năng mở rộng. Còn về cơ bản thì cái cách nó đặt giống như nó không có khác gì. Mấy cái dòng của Kenwa hoặc là Napo thì lúc nào cái nắp của nó thì là mình là thường là cái nắp ngoài. Ở đây là nắp đầu bộ, nó có thêm cái bản nè khi mà mình tự lực.
Đó là mình tự chế đâu.
Và là riêng mình gắn vào thôi áo là cái áo cơ. Còn đây là nó có thêm bản nè, có cái hộp zin của nó.
Nãy nó cái chỉnh tốc độ nó chỉnh được hết à?
Đúng không? Nó chỉnh tốc độ, tức là cái giải của nó giải đi đó chứ nó không có mắc vào ngoài cái tốc độ. Ngoài cái hay của nó thì đấy
cái
dòng động cơ này là cái tốc độ đóng mở rất là nhanh, 0,9 mét trên giây, thì nó cũng hỗ trợ nhiều cho cái việc mà sử dụng.
It's taking some time to copy as well. Okay, in the meantime, can I understand also the project? Just now we mentioning, so we will supply the drive in, right? The unit that we install, the door frame is
just by
and it's a normal, just a normal sliding door, correct? For all the doors, or there will be different configuration for this?
I mean, there will be as you say, the toilet door and the entrance door. So obviously different setting.
Right, but generally it's all frame and just sliding doors, right? There is no requirement for swing doors?
Swing doors.
Mm.
There is in the project, but we don't handle that package. The swinging package it belongs to another contract.
So now your package that you are handling is now all the sliders.
Yeah, just slide.
Yeah.
Maybe because there are a lot of contractor, they speak to many package. So
okay,
they maybe now looking at one package, which is all the slider that we are looking at.
Okay.
Then all the other door maybe is another contractor.
Yes.
Another
Right.
supplier.
Okay.
This package we focus for 250.
So all the sliders is just normal sliding, no breakout, no nothing required, right?
Because I know some of the requirements is also a breakout.
There
I mean,
was
slide and to open up, right?
There was.
There was now still have.
Yeah, our package is only sliding.
Okay. So
Okay,
the
okay,
package
okay.
is only sliding.
Okay.
Then okay lah, then we are quite.
Yeah, we are aligned.
Quite alright.
We are aligned. Okay. Okay, 59%.
Thế bạn hỏi là chính xác là cái đoạn nào trong đấy cái này là cái giải
cũng chỉ nói là cái tính năng trong cái turbo thôi, về kỹ thuật
không đây mình sẽ có nó. How do you maintain the door? Like just open the covers and that's it.
Yes, so maintenance. So firstly, I think if there is any error, then you'll see the error code.
Okay.
But in your normal maintenance, of course, clean the tracks, right? Make sure safety checks. So make sure that all the sensors are working fine. One way is you can also view the past history error codes.
Okay.
So there is also a memory. Then you can
okay.
see, what was the
previous. I understand. But I mean the mechanical maintenance.
Mechanical maintenance is like I said, firstly the motor is already gearless, so it's really just your rollers, your normal wear and tear items.
And the
belt tension. And the belt tension, make sure the belt is not too loose, nothing has shifted. Yeah, I think that's the main.
And the cover is easy to open.
Yeah, but the cover should be fastened now. So
you use screw.
No screw, but it's a click.
Hinge.
Hinge with a click. Yeah. Okay, we are 1 more %. All right, finally. Okay, here we go.
hai đem trong thử tên luôn.
There any airport in this area that is using these kind of operator?
So this one is just launched not too long ago, but the predecessor, or we actually have a few units, but it is used. You can't receive it. No.
Yeah.
For example, in Switzerland and Austria, this is already used for the last, I don't know, few years. Yeah.
Which one? This is the 700?
Can you make it a little bit bigger? No.
Bigger.
Expand the name. So we can start first one. So the first one would be mechanics. Mechanics is 715.
Không phải của mình, không phải của mình nghe, mà phải của họ.
Anh có từ hỏi là
715, is it?
You want? The big one?
Yeah, okay, this one, yes.
This case has a this case, yes, this display the maintenance. Okay,
The cover, yes,
cover,
yes, yeah.
Can open this can for maintenance.
So this one to flip up, right? You might have an issue here. This one, yeah. Okay, so the angle, you must not hit the top now. So
The following video is based on the assembly of the carrier kit that has already taken place. This means operator and carrier profile are already mounted on the substructure. The door leaves and thus also the carriers have been installed and aligned. The two engaging units have been screwed to the inner carriers. For further assembly, it is particularly important that the two attachment strips for the drive unit and the deflection device have been inserted into the operator profile before the operator profile is installed and can be easily moved. In the first step, the attachment strip for the drive unit is positioned on the right-hand side of the operator profile. The dimension from the right edge of the opening to the middle threaded bolt of the fastening strip is 160 millimeters. After alignment, the attachment strip is fixed and no longer needs to be moved. The central threaded bolt reflects the center position of the belt of the motor. A short preparation is necessary before installing the drive unit. First, the protective foil of the heat conducting pad must be removed. This is very important and must not be forgotten under any circumstances. In the next step, the enclosed hammerhead screw is pre-assembled from the outer holder. After preparation, the drive unit can be inserted into the operator profile. The whole group of the holders fits exactly on the threaded bolts of the already fixed attachment strip. For temporary fixing, the unit is fastened to the second threaded bolt from the right with a hexagon nut. As soon as the nut is hand tightened, you can let go of the drive unit and tighten the other fastening points. The threaded bolt on the far right remains free for the time being. The required grounding cable is now screwed to the outer threaded bolt of the drive unit on one side and to the operator profile on the other side using a hammerhead screw. Make sure that the enclosed toothed rings are in direct contact with the fastening bracket of the drive unit or the operator profile. This allows the teeth of the rings to be pressed into the material and ensures a secure grounding between the unit and the profile. Finally, the hammerhead screws are marked with a sticker as the central grounding point. To fix the deflection device, only the nuts are screwed on loosely at first, so that the unit can still be moved by hand. Like the drive unit, the deflection device must also be positioned at the correct place in the operator profile. Here, the dimension 160 mm also applies, this time from the left edge of the passage opening to the center of the deflection device. After adjusting the dimension, the left nut is hand tightened and the deflection device is prefixed with it. In the next assembly step, the tooth belt is installed and tensioned. To do this, the toothed belt is first placed around the drive pulley of the motor. Then the upper and lower belts are guided to the center of the operator. While the upper belt is only loosely laid over the upper belt connection, the end of the lower belt is pushed into the lower belt connection up to the middle. In the further course, pull the upper belt around the guide pulley and the guide belt back to the lower belt connection. Now the required tooth belt length can be determined and the belt shortened accordingly. The cut must be made cleanly so that the end can be inserted into the belt connection without any problems. If not, correct the cut. The tooth belt is closed by pushing the end of the belt into the still free part of the belt connection. To tension the toothed belt, first loosen the prefixed nut of the deflection device. Then push the deflector outwards by hand as far as possible and slightly pre-tension the toothed belt. In this position, the deflection unit is finally fixed with the two nuts. When tightening, make sure that the unit is aligned parallel to the operator profile. The actual tensioning of the tooth belt begins when the two front screws are loosened. The spindle between the tooth belts is turned clockwise using a ratchet or ratchet spanner. This causes the carriage with the guide pulley to move outwards, thus tensioning the belt. The correct belt tension is reached when the red marking on the spindle appears in the viewing window and is in the position of the arrow markings. As soon as this position is reached, the two front screws are tightened again. This completes the tensioning process. In the next step, the upper toothed belt is inserted into the belt connection. Make sure that the two door leaves are correctly aligned with the passage opening beforehand. The slotted holes in the belt connections can be used to make fine adjustments at a later date if necessary. Finally, the enclosed plastic safety clips are clipped to the belt connections. The securing clips have a very great effect on the toothed belt fastening and must not be forgotten under any circumstances during assembly. The operator interlock can be carried out both with the drive unit installed and with it not installed. However, later installation of the drive unit has proven to be the more simple method of installation. To mount the locking device, it is placed on the tooth belt outside the drive unit. The toothed belt now acts as a guide so that the locking device can be easily inserted into the intended receptacle on the back of the drive unit. The locking device is then fastened with the enclosed hexagon socket screws. As a rule, the left-hand through holes in the holder are used. The right-hand holes are only used for very small operators with certain equipment. Adjustment of the locking mechanism is not necessary and is carried out automatically during commissioning. To connect the locking device to the control unit, the cable with the plug is plugged onto the side of the control unit. The plug is coded and cannot be plugged in incorrectly. To prevent the cable from getting into moving drive parts, it must be fixed outside the running area at the back of the control unit. To do this, clip the two enclosed plastic cable holders into the pre-prepared holes in the back of the control unit housing. The cable is then pressed into the cable holders. For the installation of the internal cover, at least 3 cover brackets are fixed in the operator profile. For operators over 4.5 meters, 5 brackets are required. Depending on the equipment and length of the operator, they are positioned on both outer sides and in the center of the profile. The positions are not exactly defined in terms of dimensions and are done according to the space available. For installation, the cover brackets are screwed into the corresponding profile slots in a similar way to a hammerhead screw and then secured with the 2 hexagonal screws. The subsequent assembly of the internal cover is done in exactly the same way as for the ES200. The shorter hinge profiles are compensated for by a higher number. As with the ES200, grounding must be carried out via an enclosed cable. After installation, the plastic cables are inserted into the profile as counterparts to the cover holder, aligned and fixed. When aligning, make sure that the notch of the plastic part is positioned centrally to the notch opening in the cover holder. When all the cover components have been fitted, the internal cover can be swung open for service activities and locked in various positions using the stand. For long operators in particular, it is best to start by locking the center cover holder and then move on to the outer ones. If the internal cover cannot be opened fully upwards due to structural conditions, it can also be locked in a lower position. The assembly of the mechanical components is now complete. All electrical components are connected. The ES Pro line has a service mode. During commissioning, the default service mode is set, which hides all CAN bus connected peripherals. The service mode enables the connection of all components before commissioning without influencing or disturbing the commissioning process. Connect the power supply for the system. First plug in the 230 volts, then the battery plug. This must be done within 10 seconds. The control unit runs through a self-test and device recognition. The display shows the actuator type and the firmware used. The large circling O and the A indicate that a search is being made for existing CAN components. The circling O and the P indicate that parameterization is required. Press and hold the right arrow key for more than 3 seconds to enter the parameter menu. 3 parameters are set: the number of door leaves, the power supply unit, and the operator lock. First press the right button twice. The display flashes. The value to be set is selected with the up-down keys. Confirmed with the right key, the display stops flashing. Press the left button to return to the menu. The lower key takes you to the next parameter. Each of the 3 parameters must be selected and the presettings confirmed or changed in order to carry out the commissioning successfully. Exit the parameter menu with the left arrow key. Now the request for the learning cycle is indicated by the small circling O and a 0. Open the door halfway by hand. The learning cycle starts by pressing the down button for more than 3 seconds. With a circling O and a small b, the system moves to the closing position and searches for its 0 position. The locking device is now learned. The door leaf weight is determined. The door moves and the direction of opening and the opening width is determined. After a successful learning cycle, all determined values are saved. The learning cycle is finished. The control unit remains in service mode. This is indicated by the flashing underscore. In service mode, the sensors are not evaluated by the control unit. Now the required driving parameters can be set. In the example, the driving speed in the opening direction is set from 65 cm per second to 70 cm per second. An opening impulse can be triggered by briefly pressing the lower button. The service mode switches off automatically after approximately 10 minutes. By pressing the left button for more than 3 seconds, the service mode can be actively switched off, which can be recognized by the underscore that no longer flashes. The sensors are now active and can be adjusted. Commissioning is now complete.
Okay, that is a very quick overview on the product. Yeah. Anything?
I want to talk more about the motion sensor combined with safety sensor.
Yes.
Yeah, I want to training more about that because normally is good job.
I prefer the
DT, right?
after that, because our offer is based on buy one, so you choose the
one is
Yes. Ixio DT. I basically, how to show you? It's huh? The clock.
Talking about the cover. It's need a gap between the top of the
Yes.
frame and the
Yes.
Right.
You need a 15,
15, like
yeah,
this.
yeah, so that the cover
It
can
cannot-
open up.
Yeah, if don't have gap, cannot open, right? Swing, cannot swing.
If you, yeah, you cannot
If
swing.
it-
Or if
can
this move, yes, then it's
move.
okay. It's okay. Yeah, then it's okay.
we pick up with you then not and once if you have the defense the first piece of it.
what's
I like to class.
Cái nó cũng có tự động set được mấy cái tần số đấy.
it can show because users for collecting cameras.
Show me another one asking which one can pick up for the handicap situation, which I don't think, but I wanted to put the interface module.
No, the interface module is the one that will communicate with all the panel.
Yeah, so cannot.
That one.
But there's a canvas tension.
That one,
and
which
filter.
later I see. Okay, so this is the share screen again, give me a second. Okay, so this is my screen. Yep. All right, so this is the 2-in-1 sensor. So you can see that the motion sensor is here. It's a motion sensor, and this is the safety sensor lah. So this is the IR curtain. Your opening typically at 2.2 meter height, you can project out to 45 degrees to have a wide opening or a narrow angle, right? So depending whether you are wide corridor or narrow corridor. Okay. So typically at 2.2 mounting height, you are looking at a width of 4 meters by 2 meters depth. Okay. And your safety is very simple. Okay. How we always talk about safety is for a height of 2 meter mounting height, your safety protection is 2 meter, 1-to-1 ratio. You mount it at 1.5 or 1.8, then your protection is 1.8. So simple as that, right? So that's your coverage. And with this, you wouldn't need a microcell, right? So if you're talking about installation with glass, facade, and all that, then this you have a 2-in-1. Okay. You can adjust from the programming as well, whether you want to have the radar out big sensitive area or small area. Your requirement, so it will be based on numbers, right? So from the small size from 1 to the large size 8. Okay, so 1 to 8, you can choose the size of your basically for this one, right? So whether you want it big or you want it small. Okay.
Maximum is 9.
Yes, correct. So here. Okay, then same thing for the this is the safety curtain. For safety curtain, you can set again whether you want over here. For example, if you have 2 sensors side by side with each other, sometimes it will interfere. The frequency will interfere. So then you can also select frequency A and frequency B so that it doesn't affect. Then typically if you have mounting height, high or low, you can set it accordingly as well. But I would say normally when you plug in the thing, it should do a self-learn by itself. And then use the default first, then you adjust accordingly. Okay, so I think it's straightforward if installed previous. I think it's more or less the same thing. Yeah, the ones that we are using is basically from a BEA lah. I'm not sure if you use BEA as well. Maybe you guys use Optex or use this, but it should all be the same.
I understand.
Yeah. Okay. Yes. So of course there are cases where you want to block certain areas, but I don't think so. Right? Then there are screws that you can also just do an adjust. So anyway, these manuals will come in the box for so you can play around with it and to see. Yeah. But typically we want the larger protection, the better for safety reasons. Okay.
And
wiring I will give you . So the wiring, which wires go to which terminal, I can advise you. Or in fact, actually, even in the manual over here, it does actually tell you how to connect also. So if you look at this, where is it? Huh?
Yeah, we will check later.
Yeah, we
One
can.
thing I
yeah.
want to be you have to make it clear is the operation of the contract. Please send sensor for toilet. So how it work, how it operate. I can read, but some point I do not clear.
Okay. Yeah.
Please.
Actually, the sample that you will get, right?
Yeah.
Is the best I can. Who would I be talking to link up to the wiring for that? Once you receive the sample, who will commission this door? Anyone?
No, not here.
Not here?
Yeah, the one in the north. We do that.
Maybe I will link up with someone, then we can run through in a video call how the sequence, how you can do the testing. I would think
I
that
want to know how it goes. How it goes.
how it works.
Yeah. How it operates. Not about the installation.
Yeah.
With the contactless sensor.
Yeah.
For the toilet.
So you can just talk.
I can. Give me a while. I'll look at I have something. Oh,
Cái đấy là kiểu bảy bài nữa.
Chưa
Tức
hiểu.
là không, cái đấy nó là cái nút cảm biến không dây, là cái máy không chạm.
Như giống cái này.
Mình đặt cái máy hút, thì khi mình bước vào mình chạm vào cái này nó sẽ mở cửa ra, xong rồi mình đi qua nó sẽ đóng lại, và ở phía trong thì là có người ở phía trong thì bên ngoài sẽ không mở nữa. Người bên ngoài sẽ không mở nữa. Thế nhưng nếu xảy ra cái trường hợp mà người ở phía trong và xảy ra vấn đề liên quan đến khẩn cấp thì người bên ngoài có cái chìa khóa để mở cái chìa đấy để có thể là đưa người bên trong ra được. Đấy, còn khi con người ở bên trong đi ra thì người tiếp theo mới vào được. Mình nghĩ nó sẽ như thế.
Tức là họ làm sao để nó detect được là có người đã ở trong nhà vệ sinh hay không?
Nó có.
Alright. So basically this is what the panel looks like, right?
Yeah.
Then of course you have overriding outside. This was outside and this is inside the toilet. Okay, so then you have wave here, and wave here. So 3 different wave sensors, and of course you have the indicator. Right.
So just raise the hand there and it's open.
This one, when you wave, yes, this is to open or this is to open. So right, if you're inside the toilet, you wave this, you can open the toilet door. Outside the toilet, if nobody is using, it's not locked, you wave on this one, the door will open also. Okay, but if you lock it from here, then when you wave here, it will not open, but it will blink to tell you that if there's some blinking that will happen, to tell you that yes. Firstly, it will tell you that it's occupied, right? Secondly, it will tell you yes, I receive you, I see that you are waving, but the door will not open, so it's like blink. Okay, and
so when we open to come in and we will lock.
Yep. Right. Once you lock, then
from inside,
yes, then it shows occupied and locked.
Yeah.
Right. And
đấy
lock đấy là bên ngoài chứ, cái lỗ chứ.
Đó, cái này trong.
Không, cái chìa là bên ngoài.
Không, cái hình lock bên khóa của cái bên này bên trong là
trong.
So that is so when come in we have to lock. We have to wait to lock.
Yes. Yeah. You have to wave to lock.
Okay.
Okay, then if it's locked from here, from inside, of course, if you have the key, you can choose to, in case somebody faints or in case, right, you can knock on the door,
Yeah.
and then you can.
Anh em mô tả lại nha, xong ra kiểm tra anh ấy.
Không, thực ra em đọc rồi nhưng mà muốn
Thì đấy xác nhận lại.
clear lại một số cái nội dung thôi. Còn em đọc hết này rồi. So the three mode it mean open is when one way open, right?
Yes, it will open the door, override to open the door for you to go in and maybe help somebody or to reset the system. Okay,
So
normally it's in auto, right?
Normally auto.
If
Auto
you-
is mean with
normal mode.
normal door with one way open, close.
Close, yes,
Right.
close.
Okay.
And lock is, say for example, you don't want to use the toilet anymore, you put it to lock. You put it to lock, it will show occupied, right? This one cannot open the door from outside. But if somebody is still in the toilet, he can still wave to go out. Because in case somebody locks the door and somebody is still inside. Yeah. So the inside will always still be able to exit.
Chờ khẩn cấp ấy thì mình mang cái chìa mở ra.
Okay, and of course you have some options that so this is what I already explained earlier, right? You have the external, you wave. There are some options which you can have as well. So we have something called a prank play detection. Okay, so whenever but this you need to add a door close status. Okay, a door close status. Meaning when the door is haven't closed yet, when the door open, you lock the door and you run out of the toilet. Right? The safety sensor detects you, it will automatically unlock the door. This is in case people go in and they want to lock the door and they run out, right? So there is this feature. If you want to use it, it is possible to add this feature as well, right? It's all in the system.
It's using motion sensor.
Using the safety curtain. Using a safety a safety curtain, or you can use the microcell additional. Yeah, because a lot of times people go in, they lock and then always close and lock, right? So this is one way. Yeah.
It means no one inside the toilet.
Yeah, but it's locked. Yeah.
Nhưng mà cái đấy là không nằm trong cái tiêu chuẩn của mình. Tức là trong cái này là không có nhé, trong cái mà cái công tác có cái đều có.
So the additional feature not standard.
It is additional, as in you need to, if you want to use this, then you need to have additional safety sensor to detect.
Là phải thêm tiền đấy.
The quotation we get, we do have a microcell.
Do we? Oh, yeah. I already have the microcell. Yeah. So
now it's inclusive. So if you want
yeah.
to take out all these, then you once you take out the microcell, you
but the
cannot.
microcell is also used as a normal safety.
Yeah.
So it's a two-in-one kind of thing. Yeah. So you can choose
now
which
we can
mode. Yeah.
emphasize that this will be an optional feature lah.
Okay. Then you have if you have fire alarm, do you need to connect fire alarm?
Cái này
I
nó
think yes.
Yeah. So if you want to have
cái này là mình là tiêu chuẩn đúng không? Mình phải tiêu chuẩn đúng không?
Anh cứ hỏi đi, còn cái này em nghĩ là cần.
With option fire alarm.
How it works?
So how the fire alarm work is if the
fire alarm option.
Fire alarm comes and nobody's in the toilet. That first scenario, nobody's in the toilet. Fire alarm comes, the toilet will stay, but when you wave to open the door, it open, it will not close back. You cannot lock the door. So the door is always open, you cannot use.
Standard,
This is standard. And if you are in the toilet and door is locked and the fire alarm is there, he will stay first. But when you open the door, then you cannot close anymore. Yeah. So in case you are doing something, the door doesn't just open for you. Pretty sure.
Okay.
So it means it keeps the door all the way open.
Yes, always open as long as the fire alarm is there. Until it
Only when someone inside the door still close. But
Yes.
when he come out,
Yes.
he come outside.
Then the door don't close
cannot.
already. It's open all the way.
Yeah.
Okay.
So these are fire alarm feature included in the.
Yes.
It is
Yes.
standard.
That's why you need the box.
And then
The
you have
interface box.
The interface will allow you to connect to the fire alarm, will allow you
To all these features, it control the whole thing.
so the interface cannot get to it,
Yeah. Yeah.
cannot remove. It's
Oh,
the brain of the system.
Oh, okay.
Itu file module.
This interface module will go for the fire alarm, will go for everything.
Yes. Yes.
So this is the brain of the system, the heart of the system. Cannot remove. If you remove, then it's just a normal sliding off.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then
Exactly.
you cannot connect to fire alarm. You cannot connect to handicap. You cannot.
Okay, that's
Nhưng
all.
mà anh nghĩ là chỉ có cái nồi báo cháy thôi chứ không có cái sensor ở trên mà có người không người.
Cái frame này.
Cái brand rất là để chống.
Không, nhưng mà em nghĩ là cần để sẽ may cái tần suất sử dụng rất là nhiều trẻ
Cái này nó
con.
để chống giờ khám tức là kiểu chắc là
con
có
nó
cái
nghịch
nó nghịch đấy, nó cố tự động.
Nói chung là nếu mà nó standard thì mình cứ sâu ra.
Nhưng mà anh đấy thì kiểm tra anh một lần cái đấy nữa.
Cho bên này thì báo thì là standard rồi.
Ra đây không nhìn thấy cái đấy. Ở trong cái qua cái list pass của cái đưa anh không có.
Ok, anh cứ confirm lại. Mình biết thế.
Và cái đấy không có cái gì.
Cái chỉ là khi nào rồi thì
Cái đấy thì trong hồ sơ dự án nó không nói đến đâu.
Okay. Any further questions?
I think for now that's okay.
Hey, tomorrow who is going for the meeting?
Sorry, Joshua.
Me.
Can you watch 5 point?
The fire prank is the prank prevention.
Okay.
Prank detection.
Yeah.
Okay. Bye.
Tomorrow.
Mọi người nghe mà đúng không?
4.
No.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Okay.
Miss not come.
Okay.
Yeah. 4.
I have
Nếu có thiết
I have a.
Okay, 我这样。拜拜。
I'm not sure if you want to do this. Anyway, we have this app.
Can you
sorry.
we check 5.1 option already include collision?
It is a standard feature in there. Whether you want to connect the sensor into this to activate it, that's all.
How about the
Standard
sensor?
is inside. So if tomorrow you want us to emphasize we have this option for them, then we can put out and tell them we have this additional. This is one of the additional feature we have for them. So if you don't want us to say, then
Yeah, we will also just I mean,
don't bring it up.
But also said have to connect to the sensor. How about the sensor? How about that sensor include or not?
Yes, the sensor
it's the microcell,
the
the microcell,
photocell.
the photocell.
is
Yes.
already included. So now if you want to save money, you want to take out the microcell, then this one cannot use. Then we will not talk about it.
I see.
Okay, but typically how we do it, we have this in the Singapore airport as well. But actually, in order to activate this, you need 2 separate microcells. So one is purely to detect people going through. So meaning, one microcell is for safety, the other one is for practicing. But you can choose which one you want to use.
But both is sensor.
Yeah, correct.
So if we use the
Play then you move.
that means 2 different port. We just add in for them. So you must decide whether you want to make this a special feature for them to consider. Then we will talk about it.
Yeah, if they want to use this as a selling point to the
that means you need 2 microcell. 1 microcell for safety, 1 microcell for crank rate.
I don't understand.
Because one of the sensor beam is to detect if I'm in there and I lock and I walk out. One of the beam is just purely to detect somebody walk out. The other one is there for safety in case I'm standing there to prevent the door from closing. So it's 2 separate functions. Two separate functions, two separate port. Yes.
So this
Cái
means
sensor chân này có hai tính năng luôn không?
if one sensor have two function of have to using two
Two
sensors.
sensors.
So
Normally we
this
use
mean have to
top and bottom.
four hole.
One pair on top and one pair below. So maybe a 300.
So prime one is on top.
Yeah, either okay. So normally, what we do is correct. Crank is on top,
Yeah.
and safety is below. So safety is about 300 off the ground. Crank is about 500 or 700. Typically, yes.
So if we want to use prime, we have to buy one more pair, right?
Yeah, correct, but I think we just and I will do for you now. If you want this to show as an additional to consultant tomorrow, you can present. I will not include you. I will show you more set of numbers for you.
Tức là
Chưa
trong hồ sơ thì không
chưa
có.
có yêu cầu.
I mean,
Mình đã làm rõ lại.
do you know additional cost, but to the customer, there's an additional feature we can tell them this is new, this is
Not many other competitors like this.
so this is
So this
something
is
that we are
selling
different,
point.
we are
Mình
different.
ghét các trao đổi. Nếu mà
Chúng ta có thêm việc đó.
Your design and your level know,
Yeah, bye bye.
we see how to present tomorrow because we need to know what we want to let the customer know, what we want to let the
Yeah.
customer know.
Agree.
Yeah, so we must be together.
Anything need you explain, he will explain, he will need the.
Okay, okay.
Okay, so this is another thing that we have. If you want to use this as a tool to do your presentation to say, the consultants or the architects.
Okay. It's just a brief introduction. This 360 degree is a program where we use to present to owner, present to architect, what we can, our system can do, what are the accessories in a airport or in a condominium or in a residential or commercial. So, just I will show you how this thing works. So whether you want us to present this in our, because it's something very different from other people.
Or you can actually download this software and you can also use it. It's a free thing.
Yeah.
We know.
You just Chris is okay, then they know already. Then no problem. Yeah. So normally, I was just thinking, since if it's an airport, for example, then we can also highlight that not just so currently we are talking about the front doors, right? Maybe currently a front door, but we can also do we can do revolving doors as well, right? And then we do have even if you talk about revolving door, then you can see.
You can talk about revolving door, but don't talk about IT like I think they don't want to talk about IT. I know that they don't want to talk about it. Correct?
So I didn't click that as well. Yeah.
So
Có nhiều tính năng hơn hả?
Super effective.
Yeah. So yeah, we have revolving doors. Then right, we can talk about the barriers as well, right? So these are the things that we currently have supplied to the.
Cái này bên nào có thể
Một bên khác.
thiết bị ạ. Anh
Mình check có một cái cửa to bên cạnh là mình check mà giá cao.
So we can supply as a complete system, or we can supply the mechanism, like for example what we are doing in the Singapore airport. These housing, the design comes from the airport, right? Then we integrate. Of course, we don't do the sensors. I mean, the back end software is a ministry of that has all the database, but we do the mechanism here, that we do the full integration for them.
because we also want to have the confidence that have done a lot of effort. These are the products that we Dormakaba have and we can use in their effort, but if we selected something else and fine, but we just trying to.
sorry for so long.
For the slide now only SD flag. No other.
No, I think that's it will not.
Oh,
Yeah,
you can show them in the another
So
video about the sliding.
Sliding is only reflex.
Oh, reflex.
So only reflex. I mean,
Oh.
the whole idea is that we can say that, you know,
ED
yeah,
100.
We can show them the swinger lah.
Yeah, so
Because there are many other packages
Yeah.
so you know, we can show them other things, so
Yeah.
they know we can have this, then the next packages we can consider, okay,
Yeah.
they can use this,
yeah,
this.
so we have swing doors, you know, we can say that.
So when you talk about slider, don't use this one to talk. Then you
No, we say
know-
already, apart from the sliders that you already have, we have swing doors, we have, you know, the turnstiles, everything else that you need, you know.
Then Dormakaba have another solution for many solutions for
Yeah, many
airport.
solution for
Yeah.
airport, this
Yeah,
is what we
typically this is what we
Dormakaba
do, yeah.
fly away for
already for a lot of airport using.
Yeah. If we show this, they will ask for the sliding, so I think we should prepare a video for the sliding.
Or we go
Maybe
with
separate.
sliding, we go with sliding first.
Yeah,
We
but-
introduce our sliding first.
Yeah.
After we finish introduction, then we move
Yeah,
into
yeah,
it.
yeah.
Show that
Right,
airport got other
right,
things.
right.
Then we
Yeah.
don't need
Yeah,
to talk
yeah,
about
right,
airport.
right. Tức là cái này thì gọi là tô rất cuối thôi,
Yeah.
là
So
tại vì cái 360 này của Dormakaba nó rất là giá trị, là muốn
Ra